and he's been getting these brothers together, and it's through his divine wisdom that it's brought this about. I'd like to read a part of our program.
Okay, would you do me a favor? Can we just hold off for that just for right now, because we got some phone calls, but I will afford you an opportunity to do that. So I want to acknowledge the phone callers. Hello, caller, you on the air?
Yes, I just wanted to call in and say that I'm really proud of you guys, doing something positive and, making a change for the better. But I just want to ask a question, because I live in a gang-infested type of neighborhood, and I'm scared to walk down to the corner store or, down the street because I'm scared because, they be shooting on my street and stuff, and I want to know what can I do to protect myself, or will they just come up and attack you, or, as far as the gang members and stuff, because I don't know. What should I do?
Caller Max, where you stay?
Hello, caller?
Yes.
Angela's asking, what area do you stay in?
I live in Los Angeles off of Normandy.
Okay.
Can she hear me?
And that's
okay, you live off
near Washington High School.
Near Washington High School?
Are the guys over in your neighborhood with the truce or whatnot?
Well, I see some people wearing those shirts, peace and stuff, and I talked with one of them, and they seemed like they were pretty nice and everything, but it's still some over here that's wearing the sagging pants and stuff, and I'm just scared to death.
Well, I'd like to say to the caller, it's important to the black female is how you carry yourself. The way you avail yourself, sister, is the way a brother attracts himself to you. If you're out looking in a certain way, a person will address you in a certain way. That's why in the Nation of Islam, sisters wear a certain dress code. If you look dignified, a black man will treat you in that way. But if they think that you are a part of a product that's negative, they'll treat you negatively. You shouldn't be scared of any brother in your neighborhood, because if right now everybody is trying to get along and they're trying to act out. So don't be scared of them. Just do to them that you want them to do to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that information. That encouraged me, and I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, and God bless you all.
God bless you too. Thank you very much for calling. That raises a very interesting point. As Marvin was alluding to, the respect level, if you will. Let's play devil's advocate a little bit. What if the young lady is respectful, which I'm believing that she is, by all means. She's working hard, she's doing whatever the case may be, but yet, there may be some guys that may not be with the program, so to speak, and they're giving a hard time.
Well, first of all, people have to realize all black men are not gang members.
Right.
Okay. Number one. Okay. And if just because a brother may approach you in a negative way doesn't mean it's a gang-related activity. Okay. And that's something we have to instill to everybody, and as well as the media. Every time it's a black-on-black crime, it's not necessarily gang-related. Okay. I hate to say this, but sometimes it's economically related, okay? She may have too much money in her purse, okay? Whatever the case is, but hey, I don't want to justify that by no means, okay? But sometimes that's what it boils down to. It's not because he's a black man, he's in a gang, and he's going to rob me because he's in a gang. No, because he's a black man, thinks you got too much money, he wants some of it.
Let me ask you a question. Someone asked me this just yesterday, and I knew the response, but I want, the world, if you will, to hear it. A young lady was asking me, she's been looking at the news, and I thought the truce was on, but every time I hear about something, they killed someone, but they show a different nationality. My question to you is, and I think Angelo hit on it, who is the truce encompassing right now? Is it primarily blacks or the other gangs?
Okay, basically, people got a different scenario of what gangbanging goes on in Los Angeles. Okay. Now, the majority, I say 99% of the black gangs don't fight Mexican gangs. Okay. And 99% of Mexican gangs don't fight black gangs. Black gangs fight black gangs, Mexican gangs fight Mexican gangs. So there ain't no truce with the black gangs and the Mexican gangs, because the Mexicans themselves has not come up with a truce. Me, myself, personally, in my neighborhood, which I grew up in or whatnot, never had a problem with Mexican gangs. For us, we went to school with them or whatnot before some serious, ongoing situation where we got to shoot at one another or rob one another or whatnot. Ain't never had no problem with a Mexican gang. So when people hear about Mexican gangs killing Mexican gangs, them are Mexicans, not black people.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to take another phone call. Hello, caller, you on the air? Hello, caller, you on the air?
Hello?
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, this is for the brother that has on the hat with Malcolm X on it.
Marvin.
I wanted him to clarify about the Pyru gang. Did I understand him to say that when the gangs were forming many years ago, that there was the Bloods, the Crips, and the Pyrus?
Okay. All right, caller, I'm going to release you and I'm going to let Marvin respond, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Marvin.
It's not a Malcolm X hat. Let me identify. I'm with the Nation of Islam. I follow Louis Farrakhan. I said that in Compton we have Pyrus, and Pyru is a street in Compton, and Pyru is different than a Blood in Los Angeles. Bloods are in Los Angeles. They associate Pyrus as being Bloods, but Compton is a different place than Watts, and Watts is a different place in South Central Los Angeles. And we all are identified, are labeled as Bloods, but Pyrus are in Compton, and you don't have any other thing but Pyrus in Compton on that tip. Can you explain it more so?
Okay, basically what he's trying to say is that Pyru is Pyru in Compton, and we were signified by the media or the police or other authorities that we wear red or whatnot or Bloods. Bloods are LA street gangs, whereas you got several different type of Bloods in LA.
Explain what
Okay,
Bloods
you got like Bloodstone villains, you got bounty hunters, you got swans, you got non-dues bishops, you got Brims, you got Fruittown Brims. It's all sorts of Bloods, but in Compton it's just Pyru, just P-I-R-U, just plain Pyru, and every gang is some type of Pyru in Compton, not some type of Blood, but some type of Pyru.
Gentlemen, it's my understanding again that the calls are coming in. I'd like to urge you to continue to keep the phone calls coming in. You can reach my in-studio guest at area code 310-605-0605. We will post that telephone number for you. Again, for the benefit of those of you that's just joined the program, I'm joined in the studio again with the gentleman to my right who is Marvin Kinsey. To Marvin's immediate right, we have Angelo Adams. To Angelo's immediate right, we have Lonzo Williams. And again, we're talking about the gang truth. So we're going to take some more phone calls. Again, callers, when you make the phone call, I'm going to acknowledge your phone call, your question, release it from the line, and allow my in-studio guest to respond. Again, to ensure that everyone is afforded an opportunity to ask a question. Hello, caller, you on the air?
Hi, my name is Candace Johnson, and I live in the Eugene Village Complex.
Yes.
So what I want to know is what have each one of these young men did for their community so far since the gang truth has begun. And I want to know what can I do to be a part of this.
Okay, let me clarify. You want to know what has the gang members done for the community?
Yes, so far ever since this gang truth has begun.
Okay, and then you want to know what you can do to get involved? Is that my
I can't hear you.
Your second part was you want to know what you can do to get involved?
Yes, that's what I want to know, what I can do.
Okay, I'm going to release you from the line and allow one of my in-studio guests to respond.
Okay.
Our program here in Compton, Public Information Relations Unit, original gang members, Bloods, Pyrus, Crips, here in Compton have joined forces to prevent black youth from becoming numbered in prison system, or another statistic in the morgue, and to provide an alternative solution to crisis situations, encouraging youth to become contributing factors in the development and well-being of their community. Our organization maintains that neither the threat or the future punishment as a deterrent, previous incarceration nor punishment, institutional rehabilitation would discourage gang or criminal activity. The catalyst is the same. People who started gangs will be the ones that will stop it. Original gang members confront gang involvement with inside seasoned experience and an attempt to diffuse the aggression, frustration, and powerlessness and false sense of pride that is established in gang involvement. This is one of the things that we do in Public Information Relations Unit with Angelo and myself. We go in the gang communities and involve ourselves with constructive insight and involvement for a more constructive and concise way of living.
Marvin, what the other side of her question too? What can the community do? She was asking, what can I do to get involved to help this cause?
Okay, basically, what you can do is we'll try to get your name and number, and we'll get back with you, because there's several things that the community can do. There's a lot of people that I see, like the other day I was in the bank and I heard some ladies talking about the situation, and it made me feel so good, because these ladies was like, oh, they were like my mother's age, they were like in their 50s, they were asking each other, you know, like, what can they do, what can we do, what can we do this? And I was like, man, I felt so good. So I turned around, I got their name, their number and stuff, and when something come up, like we got several projects in the making as we speak right now, and we want to call everybody in the Compton community, in the LA counties, and Watts or whatnot, and help us join or whatever. And basically, to the first question, the truth has stopped or allowed a lot of people to get to know your neighbors. I mean, it is some people in Los Angeles that can't even go around the corner at one time. But now you can go to just about any school you want to go to, hang out on any corner you want to hang out. You can go to any party you want to go to and party who you want to party with. Not basically saying this is a party situation, but the education is a must. We have allowed our young children a better pattern that they had once before. That's a key issue, our younger children.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to take some more calls, gentlemen. Hello, caller, you on the air?
Hello?
Hello, caller, you on the air?
Yes, my name is Alyssa, and I'm calling from Compton.
Yes.
My question is, how do you guys feel about the truth? And if the issue about King never happened, do you think there ever would have been a truth?
Okay, good question. We're going to release you and allow them to respond.
You know what? Personally, I think the truth is the best thing happens to sliced bread, okay? Because even me, at the age that I am right now, although I never really tripped on the gangbanging too hard, I find myself at a stoplight having to check myself, because you never know, you have the wrong color on, and you might be a victim, okay? And now that the situation is like that, when you pull to a stoplight now, you give the brother to you next to you the head nod, okay? So it's cool. I mean, it's really, for me, it's cool. And I walked in Willowbrook Park last month and saw over 5,000 Crips and Bloods, partying, having a good time together. I was really touched, okay? I was really touched, and I know for a fact it's really something that, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. I'm glad to be a part of it.
All right. Any other gentlemen?
Yeah, to clarify your question, if that situation wouldn't have happened with Rodney King, you say, would it be a truth? We can't say if. I can't sit up and say, in all honesty, I don't think it will be, or I think something else would have happened. So I can't really elaborate on that question, because if it's been an if, a lot of this, if blacks was getting jobs or had better jobs, have better opportunities, would we be sitting here talking right now? So, but a lot of people ask me that question, to be honest, and I tell them all the same thing. You can't say if.
I'd just like to say we can't just specify Rodney King. We say Latasha Harlan, Yusef Hawkins, Tawana Brawley. It's just a concession of things that has happened, and what more solidified it than anything else is that youth in our community were tired of seeing each other dying, and it was inevitable that this was going to happen. And it's not a truce; it's just a ceasefire. These brothers are tired of dying, and this was an opportunity availed by the will of Allah that everybody came together at one time, and when they looked up, it was red and blue and black on black in one unified effort to tear it down, because it wasn't theirs. And the only way they could build it up is they had to organize and plan and come together. So in any growing process, you have to tear it down. And April the 29th was the tearing down process to rebuild the black beautification of our nation.
That's right.
Okay, for those of you that are watching the program, we urge you to continue to keep the phone calls coming in. But right now what we're going to do, we're going to go to a clip. We're going to watch my in-studio guest, Angelo Adams. He has a message that he wants to say when he was at the park at that gang unity picnic. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back right after this brief message.
which is the Nixon Garden Bounty Hunter, the Great Street Watch Crips, PJs, and Imperial Courts. They're the main reasons why most of us are standing here. They kicked off the truce, and we finna rap for a minute. I got a little speech I want to say to you people for a minute. We are here not to do battle with the police because we can't beat the system. We can take pop shots at the police. We can turn over a few cars and bomb a substation or two. But we cannot win the battle with the armed forces. Once we get labeled as totally organized group of terrorists, not the LAPD, not the sheriff, not the Compton PD, but the armed forces will take over the city and seize it. Along with that, they will take your child, your brother, your mother, your sister, and etc., and separate us again with that same old divide and conquer strategy that has worked so well for them in the past. The riots of 1965 put us in the gang-banging mode. Now the riots of 1992 has taken us out of gang-banging. The sole purpose of this truce is to correct our attitudes toward one another and to help each other understand that together we stand and divided we shall fall. Do you ever wonder, my people, why the police are so concerned about the Bloods and the Crips right now? Do you ever wonder why they are so upset with the Bloods and the Crips right now? America itself should be upset with their own system of justice because it was their judicial system that got the Rodney King trial transferred to Simi Valley first of all. It was their system that got a predominantly white jurors, and it was their system that okayed injustice here in America. So, let me tell you, they should be upset with their system of justice and the 12 jurors because they lit the fuse to our awakening. What I'm saying is that the verdict was an antidote. It was an antidote, an injection for the cure of the gang-banging disease that we once had once before. This is our opportunity to hold firmly this cure. Don't just think of this to get together, come to the park kicking it, but we must hold on to this truth forever. They want to control us. They will not have any control over us if we stay universal as a whole. Now it's Crips and niggas and Gordon roaming every day. It's Crips and the PJs. It's Crips, it's Bloods in the Imperial Court. It's Bloods walking in front of us. It's Bloods walking over. It's Crips in Ujima Village. So with that, the system cannot keep upon who is who. They can't say, well, it's a Crip in Ujima Village or it's a Blood and PJs. They can't say where he's from, who he's with. He's universal. He's with everyone. He can walk and talk and go to school for all our young children to go anywhere he want to go, when he want to go. If we continue as one, as the future of America, to abolish gangbanging in Los Angeles, the slavery days which we put upon ourselves will be over. They are afraid. They are afraid that they will lose their jobs. They will lose their funding, credibility, and the will to keep us separated. We need to work with one another because there are no experts, no doctors, no psychologists who can rehabilitate me or you. Only you and I can correct one another because we both have an insight and a spiritual understanding on our upbringings in our lives. When you compare a Blood and a Crip together, I must say, if I was born and raised in Watts and Grave Street or in the PJs, I might be a Crip or I would be a Crip. If this man right here was born in the Blood neighborhood, he might as well be a Blood. So it ain't like we had a choice for this stuff. It ain't like we jumped off an airplane and said, well, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. So we're going to separate that and let us work as one. The police are afraid due to my mistake. The police are afraid of the unknown. The concept that they have of us killing one another is gone. It's long gone. We learn from experience that we cannot stay apart from each other and fight one another over a color. I'd like to leave y'all with a note. It's a Greek and ancient word, which is aristokratia. That means the best rules, and peace be with each and every last one of you. And one thing for the White House, I like to say that bitch Bush better have LA money.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the young man that you just saw on that particular clip, who was exemplifying his oratorical skills, again, was none other than one of my in-studio guests in the person of Angelo Adams. Again, that was filmed at a recent Gang Unity festival or picnic over at Willowbrook Park. So again, powerful message, and I do trust and hope that you took heed to what he was saying. We're going to take some more phone calls at this particular time. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, my name is Mila Porter, and I grew up in Nickerson Gardens, moved to Compton after that, lived in Compton for over 30 years now. I just want to say I was glad to hear Angelo say that he heard some of the older sisters saying that they wanted to get behind the truth, because this is what I feel too. If we don't get behind the truth and show our support, that just gives the police the right to feel like, well, this is just a party situation, and that, you know, it's not being taken serious. So that's why I feel that as older brothers and sisters, we need to get behind the truth and show our support and be there at the peace rallies to show that it is a peaceful situation and that we're proud of this truth and that we're behind it all the way. And God bless all of you.
Okay, God bless you too. Thank you.
Regarding the truth situation, I'd like to get something clarified, because it was brought to my attention from a gentleman from the police department, I should say the chief of police, Sherry Taylor, that a lot of the gang members feel that the Compton police is trying to harass them when they have their meetings, okay? And that's not the situation. The Compton police is one of the reasons why we're putting this thing on tomorrow night, okay? It was brought to my, it was